away from the accomplishment, especially because of the lack of personnel around. 4 yards away is Johnson. Snaps it close. There it is. Megatron into the record books. The single-season all-time NFL receiving yardage record.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Lightning Kid, and welcome back to another episode of Reese's Roundup. Now, got some sad news for you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson has retired, per sources. Now, they're saying that he told his head coach, Jim Caldwell, that 2015 was his last season. If this is it, if this is his final run, man, Calvin Johnson has had one hell of a career. You know, he's played with the Lions his whole career. I gotta give him props for that. Nobody other than Barry Sanders has had such an impact on the Lions for such a short amount of time. And he's just been dynamite and dynamite and dynamite every year. In just 2 of his 9 seasons, he's not had 1,000 yards. So every season except for those 2 seasons, he's had over 1,000 yards. That's a ridiculous stat. Something else to keep in mind is that he's also a 6-time Pro Bowler, even though the Pro Bowl isn't really all that special anymore. He's a 3-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time receiving yards leader. He set the single-season record for most receiving yards in a season. That's crazy. He broke Jerry Rice's record in 2012 for most receiving yards in a season. I didn't think that stat was ever going to be broken, and Calvin Johnson, Megatron, he did that. That guy is unbelievable. He also is second most in yards per game. He set the record, he broke the Lions record for most yards in a game with 329. That is ridiculous. And the other guy, whoever, Allworth or something like that, I remember reading, I don't remember his name too well, but he broke it. He had to do it in overtime. He got 336 yards, and 40 of those yards came in overtime. So in my opinion, Johnson did this in a game. He didn't have to do it in overtime. So in my opinion, he did it. He broke the record. I'm sorry. He's got the most career games with over 200 yards with 5. It's hard to even get 100 yards in a game, and this guy did over 200 5 times. 5 times. Where's Booker T at?
On the 5 time.
He also is the youngest to 10,000 yards. Now, I'm a Cardinals fan, and it kind of saddened me when I heard that Calvin Johnson was the youngest, because before him it was Larry Fitzgerald. So seeing Calvin Johnson do it, it was like, alright, whatever. But I'll give it to him on that one. Something else to keep in mind is that he's had, in his career, 731 receptions, 11,619 yards, 83 touchdowns, and he averaged 86.1 yards per game. Calvin Johnson is a monster, and to say that he's not going to go into the Hall of Fame is absolutely ridiculous. So, I see that guy as a Hall of Famer, but man, it's sad to see that he's calling it quits so early. You know, the only other guy to call it quits for the Lions in 9 seasons was Barry Sanders, and everybody's saying that there was controversy behind that he wanted to be traded. So it could mean that Calvin Johnson's just retiring so he can free himself up to go to another team. But he's been so loyal to the Lions for so long. I mean, why want to trade up? Why want to switch up now? You know, there's a lot of loyal players still out there, and I think Calvin Johnson's one of them. So if this is the end for him, then congrats on a great season, Calvin, man. You know, one of the best to ever do it. Probably, he's definitely top 5. Top 5. Not all time, but you know, in the last 10 years, 10 seasons, he's definitely top 5. There's a lot of other receivers I would put. Let's name. I would take T.O., Jerry Rice, Marvin Harrison. Let's see who else. Calvin Johnson could be in there. I'm pretty young, so I don't know much about all the receivers prior, but you know, Calvin will definitely be up there, and without a doubt, he's definitely in talks for Hall of Fame already. First ballot, I'm not too sure, but you know, he's definitely going into the Hall of Fame without question. that's pretty much it. You know, the other person that retired was Justin Tuck. You know, congrats to Justin Tuck. I gotta give my hats off to him. He played a fantastic career too. I don't have any stats for him, but this was more about Calvin than JT. But Calvin, man, I hope the best for you in your future, man. And if you do decide to come back, then ball out to whatever team you decide to go to, man. That's gonna do it for today's episode, guys. Make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up. No crying today, thank God. Let me know what you guys want to see next week. Leave a comment of what you want to see next week, and I'll see you guys next time. Holla at your boy. Peace.